I cannot believe I did not do this video sooner, but I did get a request for it. You only have to ask me once and I'll do it. And we are going to be talking about the Stanley Cup. Not the hockey trophy, but the oversized pastel hydro flask that is literally everywhere and is displayed like a luxury item on TikTok. But how did a 100-year-old camping gear company end up in the middle of a viral water bottle frenzy? And why does it feel like we've crossed a line from hydration to hysteria? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Stanley Cup craze. We're going to be looking at TikToks as per usual on this channel, and I'm going to try not to rage too much. But before we get into that, let's talk about where the Stanley Cup came from and why it kind of blew up in the first place. And if I sound funny in this video, I think I'm sick. I don't know what's going on with me, but last night my throat hurt so bad and my lymph nodes were like so swollen. It was so painful to swallow, and now I just feel like congested and everything. So just bear with me in this video today. I probably sound really sick. I hope you enjoyed today's video nonetheless. So Stanley was founded in 1913 by William Stanley Jr. The original product, a steel vacuum insulated bottle made for blue collar workers, soldiers, and outdoor enthusiasts. For decades, Stanley was basically the thermos brand for men who worked with their hands. So how did that brand become a pastel status symbol for suburban moms and Gen Z influencers? The turning point came in 2019. Stanley was struggling, sales were flat, and the brand just felt dated in general. So they were looking for some sort of new product to just revamp the brand, to get sales going again. And then they released the Quencher, which is like a 40-ounce cup that can barely fit in car holders. Stanley actually discontinued the Quencher until a female-led buying group called the Buy Guide convinced them to bring it back. And then they marketed it to women, to moms, and then it took off in online communities, and TikTok did the rest, as it usually does. Suddenly, Stanley Cups were not just water bottles, they were an identity. If you didn't have one, you weren't cool, you weren't in with the it crowd. You were literally nobody unless you had a Stanley, and it's been like that ever since. Stanleys are still the king or the queen of hydro flask water bottles, apart from Yeti. I think Yeti's starting to become like more popular nowadays. Overall, Stanley's still very popular, still very sought out after. People are still going nuts for Stanleys. By 2023, it was absolutely chaos. Viral videos showed people sprinting into stores, grabbing armfuls, even reselling them for triple the price. Because Stanley did seasonal drops, exclusive collabs, they released limited colors, they were always doing something new, and so people just wanted the newest edition, even if they already had 10 or 20 before of the same water bottle, basically. People have filmed their Stanley Cup collections with walls of 10, 20, 30 cups. There are organizers and display shelves for them now, not to use, but just to show them off. At this point in the game, Stanley is not selling hydration. They're not selling a water bottle for you to actually drink out of. They're selling this sense of belonging. So in today's video, we are going to watch a bunch of TikToks, and I'm going to try really hard not to rage throughout this whole video, because if you've been around on my channel for a while, you know nothing makes me more enraged than this whole Stanley Cup nonsense. So let's get into it.
Let's pick a Stanley for today. We're gonna go with the cream. We're gonna go with the cream boot. And we're gonna pick the blue straw. And now a straw topper. What are we gonna go with today? We're gonna go with the sunshine. We've got ice, and now more water. Ready for the day.
Okay, this is actually not the worst video I've ever seen when someone's like packing their Stanley. We're going to get into a bunch of other videos like that later on in the video, and I will probably rage a little too hard in that one, that segment, I guess. The thing that's bothersome about this video, and you know what, I'm going to get people that are like, it's their money, they can do what they want. You know what, I'm so sick of that argument, because yes, while it's their money, they can do whatever they want. As my friend Shauna says, her and I were private messaging, and she said something really, really insightful. Habits take on new life when you are posting things online and influencing others to do the same. So while this may be her money, she can do whatever she wants, that's fine. But at the same time, if you're influencing others to do the same and you create content, then your habit takes on new life and it becomes more than just your money, do whatever you want. She has 3 different shelving units to hold all of her Stanley Cups, and I can't even begin to count how many Stanleys are in here. Here in Canada, a Stanley Cup is $60. Like, that's not cheap at all. So I can only imagine that she's spending thousands of dollars on these cups. And while this may be a collection she's collected over the years, I still don't see the need to have this many reusable water bottles because they are reusable. You are supposed to reuse the one you have. It's okay if you have a few different ones, but when it becomes this extreme, when you have this many, it's a little bit peak overconsumption, because not only does she have the Stanleys, she has the Stanley boots, she has different straws for her Stanley, even though they come with straws. She has the straw toppers. And as I said, that's not crazy. These aren't the worst accessories I've seen on a Stanley, but it's the sheer amount of each item she has that is causing this to be overconsumption. And the one thing, like, just fast forwarding a little bit to this video where she's going to pick the Stanley she's going to have for the day, you can tell and you can see that she has a lot of different Stanleys, but they're all in similar shades. And to me, and this might just be me, but if you have one of one color and you want to go buy another one, you don't buy another one in a similar color if you're still holding on to the one that's that color. I hope this makes sense, because she has a lot, but it seems like she has one in every color and then every shade within that color. Personally, I think this is just too much. There's absolutely no need to have this amount of Stanley cups and Stanley accessories, but mainly the cups, because they're reusable. They cost a lot. There's no way that someone can afford to have and continue to buy Stanleys at this amount. And yes, I understand that people have collections of things, and she might be collecting Stanley cups, but you have to ask yourself the question, like, is collecting these cups sustainable long term? Is it sustainable? Because not only are they expensive, they are huge. One day she's going to run out of space. It does not look like she has any more room to hold any more Stanley cups unless she's going to expand her shelving units on the other walls of that room, which realistically isn't really possible because you have to have room for the other furniture in your house.
If there is one thing that I do not understand, it is overconsumption. And this is a prime example that I saw on the internet. Why would anyone actually need 30 to 40 to 50 of the same exact cup? This right here probably cost this person, what, $2,000? Imagine what else you could buy for $2,000. I don't get this. And before anyone's like, it's not your business, I'm very aware of that. But on my platform, I try to talk about de-influencing. So I would never come on here and promote this and be like, this is the lifestyle that we should be trying to live.
I'm going to pause there because she says it's not my business. But at the same time, if someone is posting something online to the public, then it automatically becomes your business. Like, if they don't want it to be your business, they shouldn't be posting it online. That's my 2 cents. If you're posting something and it's public and you're expecting it to reach other people, then you're making it, you as the creator, you're making it other people's business. But there will be some comments that justify, like, it's not your business, who cares, it's their money, do what you want. Like, all the arguments to justify this level of overconsumption, if you are posting it online, you are giving other people permission to make it their business.
What is this? Yeah, they're pretty. Like half of them still have the wrapper on them. So are we just buying $40 to $50 cups just to look at them, just to be able to say, look at my collection of water bottles, pretty much? Another example I saw on Facebook, and when people asked her, like, in a respectful way, why do you have that many Stanley cups? She said it's simply a collection. She likes to collect them. It's a thrill to find another one so that she can hang them up. Like, look, I think almost every one of these have a tag. They are brand new. Will she ever drink them? I can't fathom in this economy thinking that I need to spend thousands of dollars on a cup. Like, can someone explain this to me? Minus that people are just out of their mind and obsessed. You all are obsessed. Let's de-influence, shall we? I am convinced that in like 5 years, we are going to see Stanley cups at Goodwill, at thrift stores, at yard sales for like $5. Probably still with the new tag. So before you go and feel the need to buy your 3rd, 4th, or 5th Stanley Cup, ask yourself, is there something better that you could be spending that money on? Because I guarantee you there is. Have a great day.
She's absolutely right. And it is, people are just simply collecting Stanley Cups. I saw a video the other day, which I didn't save, of this woman who was unhauling her Stanley Cups. Like, she ordered them a while ago and they were just sitting in a box unused. So people aren't buying them to drink out of. They're buying them to expand their collection. Yeah, I get it. People collect things, but at the same time, like that's not the point of the Stanley. The Stanley was to be an eco-friendly like version of a water bottle, a hydro flask, to keep your water cold all day. And people have like redefined the whole purpose of the Stanley. It's not about drinking, it's about belonging, it's about being in with the it crowd, it's about the clean girl aesthetic, and then now it's about hanging them on a wall. Like there's people that have multiple wall attachments to display their Stanleys on. It's too much. It's too much. You need all that to go on a walk? I don't think so. The one thing I'll never understand with these videos and restock influencers, because that's what she's basically doing, is restocking her Stanley Cup, is the sheer audacity to just waste stuff for the sake of the video. How many sprays of hand sanitizer or hand mist or whatever the heck that was do you need in one video? Like, you wasted so much of that just for the sake of the video. It must be rage bait or something, because it wasn't even nice to listen to or nice to see. It's just like, why? I see that kind of stuff where people just waste product for the sake of the video, and it does nothing but enrage me. I made some videos featuring Stanleys in the past, and one of the things I never understood was the perch attachment that people put their Stanley cups in. I did not understand that until you guys brought up a really good point about how they could be useful for people who are disabled and be used for that purpose. It's an accessibility tool. It can be really helpful. And yes, I agree that there are certain times and certain circumstances where these things and these tools could be useful. However, for people who are not disabled or who do not have an actual need for these items, I don't see the reason why they need to go so above and beyond with this kind of stuff. Like, Stanley cups are heavy in and of themselves already without adding all of this stuff on top of them. But then you're packing the Stanleys, you're putting bags on the Stanleys, you're filling it with a bunch of stuff you don't necessarily need for a hot girl walk. People don't actually use this stuff when they go for a hot girl walk. She probably didn't touch any of the stuff she had in this, apart from the claw clip maybe, if her hair was too hot on her neck or something like that. People only do this for the sake of the video and for the aesthetic purpose of the video. We could go one step further and say, you know what, she probably didn't even go for a hot girl walk after this. She filmed the content, then she sat down on her couch and edited it and posted it. She probably didn't even go for a walk. And I'm not just saying that that's this influencer specifically. I'm talking about every influencer, that is a highly likely reality, that after they are filming their content, getting their water bottles or their Stanley cups ready for the day, that they aren't actually going out, and that they do the content, sit on their couch, edit the footage, and post it. Why, you may ask? Because it's their job. They've made this kind of content their job. So she's not going for a walk. She's doing her job. Is she sleeping over a dance class? Why does she have all that stuff? I used to dance when I was a kid. I did ballet, I did jazz, and I did tap. And not once would I have needed anything that is in that bag, in that Stanley. When I was a kid, and maybe this has changed, but we got ready for dance, did our hair and everything before we went to class. And then when we got there, we went into the room, we did our dance routines, did our practicing, and then we went home. Another thing I'd like to point out is that not once have I ever seen anyone out in the wild with a Stanley cup looking like that. I've never seen a child. I've never seen a grown adult. I've seen nobody go out in the public with their Stanleys looking like that. If you have, please let me know, because I want to know if this is actually something somebody does and then goes out in public with, or if this is just simply something that is done online and nothing more. There's no way she went out in public with that Stanley looking like that. There's absolutely no way. She said, prep my Stanley for a hot girl walk. She needed a little Stanley attachment filled with Celsius. That's ridiculous to me. She's going for a walk, okay? Let's just keep that in mind. When you go for a walk, what do you need? Typically, some sort of satchel purse thing to hold your phone, your wallet in case you need it, maybe lip gloss or lip chap if you want, but that's basically it. Let's say she did go out and walk around with her Stanley looking like this on a hot girl walk. Can we just talk about how hard and difficult it would be to carry that heavy water bottle around with all that stuff on it and the snack tray filled to the brim with food? I feel like that would be one of the most difficult things to do in the world because me personally, I'm not that coordinated. I would probably fall and trip. I would tilt my water bottle too far one way or the other, and that food would be toppling out. Toppling out. It would be a waste of food. I really, really, really want us to bring back the simplicity of just going for a walk. We do not need to pack a Stanley. We do not need to do any of that to go for a walk. Bring your water bottle. Yes, bring your water bottle for a walk, but you don't need to dress it up and fill it with things that realistically you don't really need if you're just going for a simple walk.
This makes me a little twitchy. Oh, we got an air tag for it now because it's now turned into like a $500 Stanley instead of a $40 one. The tush wipes really sent it over the edge, didn't it? Can't believe they make bags that tiny that aren't for American Girl dolls, but for actual full-size humans. Okay. Can you even hold it now? I miss the days where you just went to the pool with some sunscreen and a towel. And you didn't pack for 5 days. I think water might be a better choice for a hot day than some poopy, but... Okay, got the sunscreen. Got a tiny little dollop of aloe. Might need more than that. Also, don't you put that on when you get home after you shower? Oh, don't dox yourself. Careful. Wow.
We're going to watch a really short one. It's like 25 seconds, but this just is so funny to me.
Moonlight peeks through the curtains. Another night, another fight.
That's so impractical. So impractical. I don't have an issue with the food. That looks delicious and greasy and awesome. What I do think is stupid is going out, bringing your food home, putting it in this Stanley Cup tray. If you want to eat it outside of the packaging, get a plate. That's why they make plates. Are plates not good enough anymore for people? I don't understand. The fries are overflowing and you can't even fit all of them in there. The burger's hardly fitting. The sauce packets are this close to falling out. And not to mention, I just think it would be so hard to actually eat and enjoy the food when it's in this unstable plate situation. It'll be extremely messy because it's almost falling out as we speak. It's not giving you a lot of space to maneuver your food. All this is for the video. I would love to just bet that she took all of the food out of that tray afterwards and put it on a normal plate. Again, I've never seen anyone in my life actually eat out of one of those things. I've never actually seen somebody online even eating out of a Stanley Cup tray. All I've seen is them packing it, but never actually seen them eating out of it. Have you guys noticed that? How there's never any content of people actually eating out of these Stanley Cup trays or out in the wild with these trays and these decked out Stanley Cups? It's always online. They're always in the comfort of their own home saying they're going to go out or packing their Stanleys to this extreme where the food's literally overflowing out of the tray and they never show us them actually eating out of it.
I purchased another Stanley, and you guys, these cups have an absolute chokehold on me. I've just been loving them because I fill them up with ice and water and drink it throughout the day, and I feel like it encourages me to drink more water. I got this one in rose quartz. I think it is so beautiful. In person, it looks like a soft pink, and the detailing is very like blush pink. I just needed another one. They're just cute, and I need to start a collection. I'm definitely not going to end up with as many of these as I have Starbucks cups because they're just more expensive. I love that these fit in a cup holder. I love that they're durable. I love that they fit so much in them. And my ice lasts a really long time. There's just a lot of perks. Added another one to the collection, and I'm just slowly becoming obsessed. Maybe I'll need a Stanley shelf. Who knows?
Please don't get a Stanley shelf. I understand you're obsessed with Stanley cups, but these type of items I feel like should not be items that someone collects because it goes against the purpose of the cup itself. It's supposed to be reusable. We mentioned that earlier on in the video. It's supposed to be reusable, but people are buying them over and over and over again, realistically not even using them. They probably have one that's their favorite that they use every single time, and they're only buying them because they see it and they want to buy it and they have no self-control. I understand buying a totally different color, but going out and buying another one in a different shade of a color you already own just seems a little bit extreme to me. Another thing I'd like to mention is the fact that she referenced the fact that she has Starbucks cups and that she probably wouldn't create her Stanley Cup collection to the amount of her Starbucks cup collection. So I can only assume that she has a lot of Starbucks cups as well. You know, it's gotten to a point where people collect so many of these cups that people are actually starting to take them, put them in garbage bags and throw them away or donate them because they've woken up. They understand that they don't need this many reusable water bottles. And so they start getting rid of them.
Trash, trash, trash. This is your sign to get rid of all of your Stanleys because the new...
Can we stop? Can we stop? Can we stop? What if we actually used our recyclable water bottles, what they're for, to be reused and stopped making a new trending water bottle every 6 months? It's so annoying and it is so bad for the environment. Our planet cannot handle this level of overconsumption, and it's influencers and businesses like this that just make it so much worse. Just use what you have. Oh my God, it's not that hard.
I think the second video we watched, she said that some of them are going to end up being in thrift stores, you know, just places like that.
It's time to declutter some of these tumblers. Let's start with the Stanleys. Keep, 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 donate. This is Boo Boo's only Stanley. Keep. Oh, definitely keep. 7 feels like a reasonable number of Stanleys. This is everything we're keeping so far. And I've already filled up this enormous bin with everything we're donating. But come back for part 3 because we are going to be going through all of these sipper cups.
It's already happening. It's already happening. People are already starting to wake up and be like, what have I done? Why did I spend all of my money, thousands of dollars on Stanley cups? This is insane. And then there are people who are still participating in this, level of overconsumption because they see nothing wrong with it. And some people on here who are watching this video may click on it because they know that they're participating, they might get offended, whatever. It's okay. It's okay to want to collect things, but there are certain things that I feel like are good to collect. And then there are things that people are collecting that go against the purpose of the item that they're buying, they're purchasing. And people who collect reusable hydro flasks, Yeti cups, Stanley cups, Starbucks cups, you're going against the purpose of why that product was being created in the first place. I have one more video I want to share with you guys, and we're going to end the video after this one, but the Stanley cups are not as great as you think they are.
Tell me why I'm just finding out about this. Tell me why. My Stanley cup, and yours too, definitely yours if you also didn't know about this, because I found out a few days ago and I cleaned it, and I thought I would share what I learned with everyone if you have a Stanley cup. So if you didn't know, you can pinch this, and you, like, I don't know, you push it, you take this part off. Maybe I'm dumb, maybe everyone knows this. But when I first did it, there was so much shit under here, and it was disgusting and gross and all over here, but I've been cleaning it a lot more consistently. So that doesn't look bad, and that's like the cleanest it's been. I wish I had a dirty one because it's disgusting.
I have to tell you guys, I knew how to clean my Stanley before I watched this, but the first time I figured it out, I didn't always know that those things could come off, but the first time I figured it out and took it apart, it was disgusting. There was like black mold. I don't know if it was black mold or just mold in general, but it was growing under there. So if you have a Stanley and you have never cleaned under there, please do, because you're probably ingesting some really toxic substances that need to be cleaned off. The Stanleys grow mold very, very fast, especially if you're putting things other than water in there. Even if you put like greens powder in there or like one of those emergency vitamin C packets, it will get moldy. very, very fast. So make sure that you are cleaning your Stanley consistently, taking it all apart because you never know what you're ingesting, what kind of mold could be growing under there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I did try to keep my rage under control a little bit. I am feeling a little under the weather, so I'm sorry if this video is not my best video. I did want to just make a video about the Stanleys because the whole Stanley Cup craze is exactly that. It's crazy. And I really, really pray and hope that people will start to wake up and realize that they're wasting their money. They're wasting their money on things that they should not be wasting money on. But of course, Stanley is a business. They want people to keep buying more and more and more. So who knows? Maybe they got away from their own mission. Maybe they just lost the whole purpose and reason behind their company and why they created the reusable water bottle in the first place. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. God bless you all. And until next time. And why does it feel like we've crossed a line? And why does it feel like we've crossed the line from hysteria? And why does it feel like we've crossed the line from hydration to hysteria? Hysteria. And why does it feel like we've crossed the line from hydration to hysteria? Hysteria? Hysteria. And why does it feel like we've crossed the line from hydration to hysteria? Hysteria? Hysteria. And why does it feel like we've crossed the line from this is so hard. Hysteria. I can't do it. Hysteria. 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 That's what I'm saying. And why does it feel like we've crossed the line from hydration to hysteria? I can't do it. Hysteria. 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 Okay. Hysteria. And why does it feel like we've crossed the line from hydration to hysteria? I can't do it. Forget it.